Welcome to Brother Owl's Garden. I'm Brian, and I honor your presence here today. Today, I'd like to offer a rather somewhat radical alternative to the standard way of praying. Most people, at least in the earlier phases of their prayer life and incrementally intensifying communion with divinity, in the beginning phases, we tend to we almost treat God like an emergency ATM machine. Oh God, I have a problem right now. I need you to do this the way I want it to turn out for me now, please. If I really beg you intensely, that's probably going to increase the chances you'll do it for me. And I really need you to do this for me, and I really need you to get me out of this situation. And gosh, I'm even willing to consider bargaining with you. If you do this, I'll do that, this kind of thing. And I guess we've all been there at some point in our life, and hopefully not for long, because that's a really base, crude, unconscious, and unevolved state to be in with God. So what I would like to do is draw a little bit from some Sufi wisdom from the great Shams of Tabriz, who I really, really love very much. Shams-i Tabrizi in Persian. So Shams taught that instead of thanking God for blessings granted, the evolved and more mature soul, more experienced and enlightened soul, thanks God for prayers and blessings yet unanswered. In other words, a preemptive state of gratitude to God, to divinity, to all creation resonating in your favor. Be thankful first. A popular buzz phrase might be pay it forward. All right? So pay it forward with your thankfulness, with your gratitude. And I always love to use the word thankfulness instead of gratitude, and I'll tell you why. Gratitude is a resonance, a frequency of appreciation, and it's wonderful, and it's a blessings magnet. But thankfulness has an object of that appreciation. There is someone who you are thanking in response to acknowledging and sensing that feeling of appreciation and gratitude. Thankfulness has an object. Gratitude is a beautiful, beautiful ball of energy. Thankfulness is a beautiful, beautiful ball of energy that you give to the giver. Thankfulness focuses on the giver who has given you. Gratitude, I think, at least for my interpretation, is not as powerful. So thankfulness, it is you that I thank, my beloved. So let's be thankful and express that thanks, and let's maintain a frequency, a vibration, a resonance, an energy field of thankfulness to God first, before graces, gifts, and blessings are provided. Eventually, we will also reach a point where we don't ask too much anymore. We know it's already there. We can move beyond the asking and pleading and begging and hoping and even bargaining, or, we can move beyond that and just abide restfully in trust. Because at our highest level, we do already know that all of our needs are already met, and that as long as we stay attuned and aligned in divinity, as long as we do our part to stay in harmony with divinity, we're taken care of. Even if on the face of it some things look like tragedies, difficulties, challenges, disasters, whatever, they all work out for good for those who are in tune and alignment with divinity, in a state of organic, authentic love. We just need to, as the Christ taught, seek first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all these other things will be added unto you. What that means is get attuned and aligned and intimate in a state of effervescent love with and of divinity, God, and all that is sacred, holy, good, benevolent, and divine. And once you're in that state, to even think of, oh, please, God, make this go the way I think it should go, and please work that out for me, and all this just crumbles and fades away to less than dust. But let us always be in a state of preemptive thankfulness. And not only for the gifts of divinity that we know are given to us and are going to continue to be given to us and will be given to us, but also the flip side of the coin. We must also be equally and as consciously thankful for the things that we are spared and denied. Because sometimes in our ignorance or our incomplete understanding, we may ask for things, even plead for things that, we want that really bad, but that's not going to serve us where we are now in our soul growth. That would not be appropriate for your life now. I'm going to spare you that. I'm going to withhold that from you for now. And maybe forever. Because even though you can't see it, I'm guiding you and I'm keeping you and upholding you, and that would be no good for you, even as much as you think you want it, or as much as you do want it anyway. I'm going to withhold that from you for your good. So, Shams of Tabriz, one of the greatest sages that ever lived, I cannot have enough esteem for this man. I just revere him. He enlightens us in teaching us to be thankful for things that haven't come yet, because it demonstrates by our living and by our actions an absolute, unquestioning, and unwavering trust, not just faith, not just hope, but trust that it is already done. I'm sending you my thanks now for what I know you will be doing to help me, the things you will be doing to protect me and sustain me and guide me and uplift me as a child of divinity. To have that incredibly trusting, restful, abiding in divinity is sublime. It's what we should be striving for and attaining to as much as possible, to the extent that each little moment of having reached it, however far apart they are, they become more frequent and closer and then seamless. We're just floating in it. And to thank God, to thank divinity, to thank Spirit for denying us and withholding from us things that we may have actively even prayed for, that we were unable to see would not be of any good for us. They, if it's been withheld from you, it's because the pain would have been too much, or the suffering would have been too much, or the damage would have been too much. And it's a little bit unfair because we can't know what could have been and wasn't. We can't know what wasn't. As easily as we can know what was. Oh, well, this did happen and this did result. Well, that didn't happen and this thing didn't happen as a result of it. Well, the inverse negative is difficult to conceptualize sometimes. But if you can ascend to a higher and subtler, finer, keener sense of awareness, then you get a better grasp of why it is very wise to thank Spirit for what we have been denied, despite our requests or hopes. And the other side of the coin, to thank divinity, to thank God for what has yet to come, but is coming. Because it always does. And yet we continue to fall into a state of second guessing, doubting, fearing. I don't know if this one's going to work out. I don't know if God's going to help me out through this one. Our job is, as I said, just get attuned and aligned and intimate in divinity. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. Many ways of saying this. Attune yourself to the highest frequency of divinity, which is within you, which lives within you, and you live within it. You are a temple of divinity in an ocean of divinity. Divinity abides in the temple that is your body, and you abide in creation, which is divinity manifest and expressed. Although an inverse negative of it. But still, I think you get the idea that thankfulness, to me, is a notch higher than gratitude. And thankfulness is a tremendous magnet of serendipity, blessings. They're not even exactly blessings, because when you are attuned to divinity, then the universe flows. You flow in harmony with the universe, and you will interpret this as being blessed. There are blessings, but I'm just saying when you're attuned, things all work out better for you. That's a blessing. But you also could work against it and choose to go against the laws of nature and go contrary to divinity, and then be assured that you will be contrary to all that is good, and everything will conspire or work against you simply by its nature. And then you will say, oh, well, I'm being punished, or I'm being cursed by this. And that's also not exactly true. You're just completely bucking it and going against it. You're going against the divine nature, the laws of creation, the way things are made, and the way things flow. But if you simply turn and flow in harmony with them, you will feel completely blessed and enveloped in the love of divinity. So be thankful for what hasn't come yet, because it demonstrates your certainty and trust, unwavering and unquestioning trust in divine providence for you, so long as you stay in harmony, attuned in divinity. And thank God for the things you have been denied or spared or kept from, even despite having asked for them, because it acknowledges that our wisdom and our understanding cannot hold a candle to divinity. We just can't. So live by the higher code of, even though intellectually I can't really figure that out, I can't understand that, but there's a knowing in my soul that says, thy will be done, not mine. Because My schemes and plans and pictures of what I had in mind for myself are chaff, dust, compared to God's vision, the divine perspective of my existence in my life. So know that and trust that and live that and be that and watch what this does for you and everyone around you. Be thankful for what has yet to come, whatever it is, and be thankful for what has been denied or spared us, because God knows best. And when we lay down that mantle of worry and trying to figure everything out and making our own plans and blueprints for how we're supposed to be living and all that, when we can lay all that down and rest in the bosom of divinity like a baby on its mother's breast, then we will know peace. Remember to always abide in thankfulness for your highest good in the most benevolent outcome of the divine will.